what you shouldn't do when you're in a fight. So the biggest thing that people tend to do when they're fighting with somebody, and this is mostly related to your significant other, right? The first thing you tend to do when attacked, what do? Someone attacks you, someone throws something at you, if someone screams at you, if you're in a life or death situation, you either fight or flight, right? So what do you tend to do in a fight when someone is saying that you do this, you treat me like this, you never do this, you always do this, right? They're kind of saying how they are not satisfied with something that you do or don't do or say or don't say or whatever, right? What they're doing is they are doing an attack, right? So your natural instinct is to defend yourself, right? You want to tell them why they're wrong. No, I'm not that way. No, I didn't say that. No, I don't think that. No, I'm not saying that. No, I don't not do this, right? Your natural instinct is to defend yourself. You want to let them know, no, you're wrong. You're wrong for what you think. You're wrong for what you're saying. And that's not who I am or what I represent, right? But that is a big mistake. You do not want to do this, right? You want to not defend yourself. And that sounds kind of counterintuitive, right? When you're fighting, when you're screaming, when you're yelling at somebody, you want to say, no, you're wrong. I'm not that. You're this, that, or the other. And then what that happens is it leads to a snowball effect that where you'll start to kind of say worse things and they'll start to say worse things. And why do you do that? Because you feel attacked, right? You feel like they are not appreciating you. You feel like you're not heard. You feel like they don't understand all the things that you've given up and sacrificed for this relationship, right? So you get mad, you get angry, right? So you'll start to say things that maybe you don't quite mean, and then they'll start to say things that they don't quite mean, and then this will be the general level of the fight. So technically you'll start here, right? And then this is above the belt. This is, you're a jerk, right? You're making me feel bad. Oh, I can't stand you. You do this. You're a jerk, you're an asshole, whatever. I can't stand you. Then it starts to get below and below and below and below and below the belt, right? Now, when you're at this point, the real below the belt part, they have said and you have said horrible things to each other that are deep and strike at the heart. And some things, guys, you cannot come back from, right? So the idea is people say forgive and forget. There is no forgive and forget. There's forgive. Nobody forgets. Nobody will ever forget. You know why? Because when you attack somebody and you hit them below the belt, you hurt them tremendously. Okay? So what you want to do is, instead of defending yourself, instead of saying, I didn't say that, I didn't do that, I'm not this, I'm not that, recognize the person's feeling, right? Say, you know what? I didn't say that, or you may think I feel like this, or you may think I do this, but it really comes from a place of X, Y, or Z. I understand your feeling. I'm not going to say I'm right. I'm not going to say you're wrong. But don't defend it. Don't say I'm not this, you're that, or you're saying I'm this, but you do this, right? Because it just becomes an endless cycle and you never get anywhere, right? So when you're in these kind of tumultuous fights with somebody, don't defend. Recognize what they're saying. Say, okay. And then move on from it. Don't defend. Now, they have to take some accountability too. They can't be always, jumping down your throat, because that's criticism, right? So defending yourself is a reaction to criticism, right? So they need to be held accountable. So you say, I'm sorry you feel that way. That wasn't my intention. I don't appreciate the criticism, but I understand the feeling. And I'm sorry for this happening, or you feeling this way. I'm going to try to understand your point of view, and we're going to move on from it, right? Don't defend, don't attack back, but that's a very natural thing to do. It's very hard to not do, right? As soon as someone comes at you, you usually want to say, no, screw you. I'm not this, you're this. right? And then the below the belt happens, keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse before you guys have both said something that is horrible, right? That the other one's not really gonna forget. And you know, I kind of think of relationships as, and this is really true, you do have tick marks, right? So say you start here, you know, honeymoon phase, we love each other, lovey-dovey, everything's all good, right? And then he or she says, I hate you, can't stand you, you're a loser, I hate your parents, I hate your brother or sister, you're weird, God, I can't stand being around you. And it keeps getting lower and lower and lower and lower. And then let me tell you something, guys, it's a hole. You can dig a hole, right? If you dig a 1 foot hole, you can get out of it. Dig a 3 foot hole, you can get out of it. It might be a little bit more of a step up, right? You can dig a 4 foot hole. You might have to push a little bit, but you can probably get out of it, right? You can dig a 6 foot hole. You're not going to be able to get out of it, or it's going to be very hard to do so. So think of your relationship as a bank account, and every good thing you do makes a hill. Every bad thing you do makes a hole. And when you're on top, you can jump and be full of joy. When you're below, it's very difficult to get out. People do not forget. They can forgive, but people do not forget. And the deeper the hole is, the harder it's going to be to forgive and forget, right? So take that into account. Next time you have a fight with your significant other, make sure you are not defending yourself and try the method that I told you instead. Okay guys, if you like this content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like and share this video. Leave me a comment below. Let me know some of your tactics on how you handle conflict with your spouse or significant other. You know, does this work? How has defending and attacking back been a bad thing? Has it been hard to get out of? Let me know in the comments below, guys. All right, take care. Until next time.